This
can work
conference
on
will
Angular
now be
project.
recorded.
Great, Amir. Next, can we go with Abhijit? Yeah, thanks,
Yeah,
Amir. Thanks for the info.
Yes, thank you.
myself Abhijit, and I'm currently I'm from Pune and currently working into Mindtree. The technology stack I have is .NET, MVC, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and I have interest into the UI technologies. So that's actually I joined this session.
Yeah, great, Abhijit. I mean, you already knew about the HTML and CSS. I mean, MEC and the Bootstrap, so it will be very easy for you to learn the Angular. Uh, so next, can we go with Bharat?
Hi, hello, good morning. This is Bharat.
Hi,
I'm
good
from
morning, Bharat.
Bangalore and I'm from Bangalore. I'm working as a UI developer in HCL. I knew about
Nice.
HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap, JavaScript. And currently, I have not done any project on Angular, so I'm looking to work on that.
Okay, Bharat. It will be good case, like you can we can learn all the Angular concepts, and I mean we can do the project at the end of the course also. Like I'll give you some inputs like how to start with the projects and everything, how we're going to create the complex project in Angular. Next, can we go
Yes,
with
yes.
Harshita?
Yeah, hi, good morning, all.
Hi, good morning, Harshita.
Yeah, yeah, my name is Kanchi Hashta. I have working as a trainee software engineer on OGS Innovative Technologies in Hyderabad. Yeah, I have a good knowledge in HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. And Angular also I have a basic knowledge. I want to upgrade as myself in React.js and Vue.js also. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
great, Harshita. Yeah, it'll be good. Like if you know the multiple framework, no,
Yeah,
there will be like a lot of chances of getting the like opportunities.
yes.
Yeah, Karthik, like I mean, yeah, I knew about him. Can you please introduce Navin? Uh,
Hello.
Navin? Yeah,
Yes,
Navin. Go ahead.
this is Navin from Hyderabad, and I joined the new company as I want any more knowledge of Angular and
Navin,
JavaScript.
your voice was not clear, Navin.
Now is it okay?
Yeah, it's better still. Like we have some disturbance kind of thing.
I will introduce later. So, let our company.
Okay. Now, can you go with Praveen?
Hi all, I'm Praveen and I'm currently working on TCS and I'm working on the technologies like Spring and Spring Boot and I have basic knowledge on Angular as well and I want to learn more. That's why I started learning.
Yeah. Great, Praveen. Like you have experience with the backend and you have like basic knowledge in the Angular, so it will be good. So you can learn it very easily. Next, can we go with Rajeshwari?
Yeah, hi, myself Rajeshwari. I'm working as a UI developer in Tata Elxsi. So, in my project is it's Xfinity Mobile. Here we are using the technologies like HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and Angular. So, actually, I came from a non-IT background. I have a knowledge on all these technologies, but I don't have clarity and I need to upgrade on these technologies. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
So the
great. So like you will definitely, I mean, you will definitely get the complete clarity on the, I mean, how we are going to use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Angular by taking this course. Thanks. And
yeah, thank you.
Rakesh, can you please introduce about yourself?
Hi, Rakesh here. I am working as a full stack engineer. I have basic experience in Angular, and I'm here for some refresh.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Next, can we go with Sovit?
Hi, so my name is Sovit. I'm from Noida
and working as a PHP developer. So I have experience in mainly in PHP backend developer, but I have good knowledge of HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, and Angular. So just wanted to more grab on Angular and React.
Great. So it's like, yeah, you can, well, yeah, we can learn a lot of things in this training. Yeah, thanks. I mean, can you please introduce about yourself, Tenny?
Hello. So my voice is audible.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I am Nisan. I am from Tamil Nadu. Now only I am just learning front-end development,
Okay.
which I know basic knowledge in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, and Angular also. So
Okay, yeah, great. Thanks. Venkatesh, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, good morning, sir. Sir, I'm Venkatesh. I'm from Ongole, AP.
Yeah, good morning,
As
Venkatesh.
yeah, I'm a fresher. I'm recently joined in Wipro. I got a stream in front-end developer and I got framework Angular. So in
Okay.
the training, I'm going to learning. So that's why I joined here.
Okay,
I
yeah,
hope it
thanks,
helps.
Venkatesh. Yes. Yeah. Next, Bhavani. Bhavani, are you there? You are in mute. Okay, guys, like we'll start the session. Let me share my screen once. You are able to see my screen, right?
Sir, can we get
Yes,
recordings
sir.
or any?
Yeah, we can get. Can you? Let me introduce myself. Like, myself. Like, I'm Srikanth Reddy. Like, I have total 9 years of experience into front-end development, and like I have some back-end experience also. Back-end experience like 3 years into back-end technologies like Node.js, AWS and the DevOps. Guys, like I mean, I have started this training like to share my knowledge to the others. I mean, I'm not going to take any fee for this particular course. Let me introduce like I mean, what are all the things we are going to learn in this particular training or the course. The course content was like so we are going to learn in this training was like we are going to learn TypeScript and Angular 30, and the course duration will be 40 days. Course fee will be nothing. Like I mean, I'm not going to charge anything. So just want to share my knowledge and just want to help the people like who are struggling to get into as a UI developer, or like some people like they have learned the UI technologies, but like they don't have the idea about the like how to explain the day-to-day work in the in the interview. So like to overcome all those things, so I have started this course. So like before like one more thing, like yeah, you will get the videos like at the end of the session or the next day. Like I'm going to post all the videos in the group. Like I mean, I hope everyone was present in the Angular 13 training group. So if not, like you can ping me your WhatsApp number, I can add. So the course, like the course classes will be starts from like 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And one more thing, guys, like I have started this course in the last week itself, like 10 days ago. I have completed the TypeScript also. Guys, if you want, I mean, you can go through the all the videos like through YouTube. Like I have one channel where I have posted the all the basics about the TypeScript and the Angular 13 and all those things. So I'll share that link. I'll share that channel in the WhatsApp group, so you can go through it. So in this today's session, I'll take the basic introduction about the web, and why do you learn the Angular, and what is the importance of the Angular and all those things. In the in this session, I have seen most of the people have the basic knowledge in the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I can see except one or two members everyone is having experience with the HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. So if you know all these things, means it'll become very easy to explain the things. So if for the freshers, if you want, what are all the prerequisites was we need to learn the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. If you want to learn the Bootstrap, the prerequisites were or we can say requirements. You should have the basic knowledge in HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So I can see the most of the people who are present in this class everyone knows about the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and some people are working on the Angular also. So it is very easy to learn the Angular. So first question, sir, before I'm going to take this course, I have few questions sir, why should I take this course? What is the importance of the web, and what is meant by the Angular? Guys, can someone answer why do you need to go for the Angular? Anyone?
It is to develop single page applications.
Yeah, correct, Karthik. Guys,
So this is a free front end UI technology to develop single page applications.
Client side server.
Yeah, correct.
It is a client-side framework for which we can create single-page applications with the help of HTML and JavaScript.
Yeah, great, Arshita. Guys,
Easy
one more
to
thing,
make app also.
okay, yeah, good point. Guys, I can see few of the students from the they have attending the classes from the last 10 days. Guys, I think this class it will become bored for you. Because you have already attended. So we'll continue the continuation of the remaining classes in the evening session. So if you want, you can continue with the class. If you want, you can leave the class. It's up to you. Okay. Whatever the points you have told, right? So it is the client-side framework. So we'll be developing the single page, web applications. So before we are going to the Angular now, so let me start with the what is the difference between the static website and the dynamic website? Difference between static web or static web application or dynamic web application. So any answers for this, guys? I want the session to be interactive so that we can share the each and everyone's knowledge to others. So if it is interactive means it will be good. We can get the lot of answers, and we can have the different answers, and we can share our knowledge.
Yeah, so static web app is there is no interaction from the website. Basically, there are no functionality. Dynamic means we can get functionalities added in the website.
Yes, correct, Karthik.
It's more there is no data change or any action performed on that. It's only like a piece of book where we can
Yes,
read.
exactly. Yeah, exactly correct. Whatever you have told, it's exactly correct, Bharat. Let me explain this way. I guess anyone want to give any other answers? Okay, I'll proceed with. So static web pages or like static web app. So it is a collection of static web pages which will displace the HTML or CSS content. The example was like we can take it as a college website, or like you can take it as some hospital website. So like if you take any college website, it will be having the static web pages. So what is meant by static web pages was like they will create the static web pages by using the HTML and CSS. Like we will be not having the more interactive. So we can see the most of the times with the similar content. Like we are not going to interact with that particular web application. This is called the static web application. So if you take any college website or the hospital website, can consider this as a static web application. So whereas if you go for the dynamic web application, sir, if I want to create the static web application, do we need the Angular? Do we need the Angular, or we can create without having the Angular?
You can able to create without Angular also.
Yeah, correct.
We don't need an Angular.
Yes, correct, exactly. So if you want to create the static web application, so what are the things we need to know? So if you know the HTML,
CSS.
Yeah, if you want the responsiveness, we can use the Bootstrap. So we can, if you learn the HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap, we can easily create the static static web application. So we can learn all these things within 2 weeks, and we can create our own own static web application. Or we can add one more example like portfolio. Portfolio means like it will be having the all details about you. If you want, for example, if you're applying for some particular job, so they will ask like, what is your portfolio? Portfolio means like it will explain all the details, like all the details are the what are the programming languages you have the experience, and have you done any freelance kind of thing. So you can showcase all your details by creating the static web application. So this is the basic definition of the static web application. So next we'll go through the dynamic web application. So it is a collection of dynamic web pages. Sir, here my next question was like, what is meant by the dynamic? So here I have mentioned static means like the web pages or the web content, like it will not change. Like it will be same for the longer time. For example, if I updated my college details and the college or the course details in my college website, so I'm not going to change this for the longer time. Like it's around like 6 months or 1 year. So if you're going to provide the new courses or a new thing, so we'll be changing these things in the next year. So when it comes to the dynamic web application, so it is I'm telling it is a collection of the dynamic web pages. So here dynamic means like we can play around it. Like we can click on the particular web page, and we can we can do the multiple things. For example, let me take it as a e-commerce application. For example, let me take the Amazon. We can consider Amazon is the one dynamic web application, because in the Amazon website, so we are not creating the static web pages, because like if you take an Amazon website, we have some let us assume we have 1 crore products. So if you want to create the each page for the each product, it will be very difficult. So we are loading all this content dynamically. For example, let me click on this one, laptop from the top brands. So once if I click on this one, so I have redirect to the another page. For example, once if I click on this particular laptop, so I have redirect to the its complete details about this particular product. So here we can see the different options, like I can add this product to the cart, I can buy, or I can check all the details. I can check whether this particular product was available within my pin code. So these are called all the dynamicness, like we are interacting dynamically, so we can do the lot of actions. So if you want to do all those things, like means we should know the JavaScript. For example, I'm just clicking in this add to cart. So once if I click on this add to cart, we can see like we got the one model, or we got one kind of pop-up. So next, like it is redirect to the another page, and this particular product was added to the this cart. So if you want to know, or if you want to do all these things, you should have the knowledge in the JavaScript. Like we are going to use the JavaScript or the TypeScript for this particular kind of actions. So this is called the dynamic web application. So if you want to develop the complex web application like Amazon or Flipkart, or if I take like Ola or Uber, so we are going to use the frameworks. So we are going to use the frameworks like Angular, React, or Vue. So this is the difference between the static web application and the dynamic web application. Sir, why should I go for the Angular, or sir, why should I sir, can't I develop the dynamic web application using the HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap and the JavaScript? Means like we can develop up to some extent. But if you want to develop the full-pitched Amazon web application, means like I can say we can develop, but it has some disadvantages. So let me take example as a Amazon. So we are going to use here HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Angular or React. So this is the difference between the static web application and the dynamic web application. So next point, like sir, can I develop the Amazon website by without using the Angular or React? Means we can develop, but like, there are some limitations. Sir, what kind of limitations was mean? So whenever if you're going to add any feature, or whenever if you're going to add the new code base, so if you want to develop this kind of application without using the Angular or React, means like the main disadvantage or the main problem was like the code maintenance. So we can't maintain the all the codes without having the without using the proper framework structure, or like the framework advantages. Like we can develop, but we need to write the lot of code, and it will leads to the we can't maintain all those modules or different module. Like we'll be having the different modules. So if you want to maintain it, or if you want to manage it, it is going to be very difficult. So this is the one disadvantages of not using the Angular or React. So to overcome this particular problem, so we got the frameworks are exist, or like frameworks are introduced. So basically, for example, if I take the Facebook as an example, so in the Facebook, like we can see like it is having a lot of user base. Like it is having more than, like for example, if we assume like more than 10 million, so each profile like will be having the each profile details, and their friends list. Like it is possible, like if you want to maintain all those things, means we should go with the either Angular or React. Basically, Facebook was developed by using the React framework. So because of that reason, so we are going to learn the any one of the framework, either Angular or React. If you want to develop such complex web applications, we are going to learn the HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, and the with like one more framework called Angular. Guys, this is clear. Difference between the static, a web application, and the dynamic web application, and why we are going for the Angular.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
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 yes.
clear.
Guys, if you're unable to follow me, or like if I'm going in with a like fast pace, you can stop and you can ask the questions, like, if you're unable to follow me, so I can explain once again. So next question was like, sir, like, yeah, I mean, I have experience with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and Angular. Sir, what about the job market? Like, or like, I mean, why do I need to go for the, I mean, front end only? Guys, I think everyone is working as a like Angular, and everyone knows about the HTML and CSS, JavaScript, right? So we'll be knowing about the front end development. So front end is nothing but like whatever the end user is going to interact, or the whatever the end user is going to see. So, for example, if I take this Amazon web application, like we'll be calling this as a front end, web application or the front end, because I am the end user, like I am the client, so I am going to interact with like all these options like bestsellers or like all these options. So we will be calling this as a front end web application, or we can call it as a client side web app also. So nowadays, for example, if for example, let us consider Karthik is going to he's having some idea, and he wants to come up with some product. So I mean, he want to solve a particular problem, and he want to come up with the particular product. Now the next big question was like, I mean, how can I reach this product to the end users? So he has some end users in his mind, but he wants to reach his end users. So if you want to reach his product to some end users, if someone wants to use it, so we need some medium. So what are all the different mediums? So the first one was the web. So we can go with web, or like the mobile application. So why like most of the like the products are the, I mean, most of the ideas will go through the web or mobile app was like, it is very easy to use. It is very easy to use, and it runs over an internet, because nowadays like everyone is using, so everyone knows about like how to how to use the basic Chrome browser or Firefox, and how to use the basic mobile apps. So this is the one of the, we can use web or mobile app as a one medium to reach like, to reach my end user. Like I just want to showcase my product by using these two mediums. So it is very easy to use, and it runs on the over internet, so we can connect very easily. So because of that reason, like we are going with the web development. So, guys, like if you take nowadays, once if you're comfort with this, front end technology, we have a lot of openings. We have a lot of openings in the, whether it can be startups or the MNCs. We can see like a lot of openings. Once if we have some 1 year, or like if you have 1 to 5 years experience, then you can definitely land with good package if you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and any one of the front-end framework, either it is Angular or React or Vue, anything. So because like we have a lot of openings, so let me show you once. Like let me open Naucry. Let me type UI development or Angular. I think everyone is familiar with like UI development. Like what is meant by UI? UI is nothing but user interface. User interface means, whatever the end user is going to see. Like we can call this entire web page is in one interface. So we are going to show this particular interface. Like the client or end user is going to interact with this interface, right? So we can call it as a front end developer, or we can call it as a user interface development also. So let me select the experience area like 1 year. So I'll just click on search. See here we can see like for the 1 year experience, we can see like around like 5,000 jobs. So we can get the, we nowadays like we have the lot of openings for the like candidates like who is experienced with the front end technologies. So like the job market was very high. So once if you complete this particular course, or if you learn the complete Angular, no, so we can definitely place. I can see like the most of the people are working, but once if you improve, or if you want to switch the company, so this course will gets helpful to you. So next, like we'll move to the introduction about the Angular. So what is Angular? So Angular is most popular client-side framework developed using TypeScript. So Angular is a most popular client-side framework developed using the TypeScript. So which is used to develop client-side single-page applications, and it is also it is an open source framework. It is an open source project, or like we can consider it an open source. It is open source framework. We'll see like one by one. Like so, Angular is a most popular client-side framework developed using the TypeScript. So, which is used to develop the client-side single-page web applications. Like you can consider client-side single-page web application. It is an open source. So first of all, like I mean, sir, what is meant by the client side? So you guys all knew about it. Client side means like the end user who is going to interact with web browsers to access website or web app. So client side is nothing but like the end user. For example, let us assume I am the end user. I want to purchase some mobile from the Amazon website. So I can consider the Amazon website is it's a client side. Amazon, the browser is the client side. So by using this client side, so I'm going to interact with one website by using the web browser. So we can consider this as a client side. Whereas server side means like we are going to write the APIs, so it will interact with the database to get the data from the database, and I mean to fetch it back to the client side. So I mean that is called the backend or the server side. So Angular is the most popular client side framework developed using the TypeScript. So here what is meant by the TypeScript? It is a superset of JavaScript. Sir, here what is meant by the superset of JavaScript means like so TypeScript, like I mean, it is a superset of JavaScript means like it will support all the features of the JavaScript. In addition to that, like it has some advantages. It has some advantages like where we can check the type checking, and I mean it provides the more object oriented principles, and it has introduces like I mean classes, interfaces. Guys, we'll discuss in detail about the TypeScript later classes. So for now, Angular is a most popular client-side framework developed using the TypeScript, so which is used to develop the I mean client-side single-page web application. So guys, what is meant by the single-page web application? So my next question was single-page web apps. Guys, anyone is having idea about it? Single-page
Like,
web application.
sir, the dynamic part of the content is only loaded for the once we refresh.
Okay, yeah, correct.
We need not to go to the server for every call.
Okay. Yeah, any other answers?
Yeah, shall I add a few more points?
Yes,
Uh,
yeah, Shrita.
it works in all it is a cross platform, like it works in all operating systems.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, one more point is it is a cross-browser compatible. It works in our latest browsers like Mozilla Firefox or Safari, like that.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Let me explain in this way. Like, so let me take. I mean, Gmail, consider like Gmail is a single page web application. So basically, if you take the any web application or any website, so we'll be having the header section. If you take any, for example, if I go for Amazon also, we can consider this as a header part, and we'll be having the footer also. We'll be sometimes like we'll be having the sidebar also. So if I go for the Gmail, so I have the header, I have the sidebar, and I have the footer also. So we can consider this section as a footer section. So what happens was in the single page web application, so we are going to load the web application in the by first time with the, all the content like header, sidebar, footer. So next time, for example, whenever if I, for example, currently I was in inbox, right? So whenever if I navigate from inbox to the, for example, drafts, I'll just move to the drafts. So here what happens was like, I mean, I am not going to load the entire web application again. So I'm not going to load this header, sidebar, and footer because it is already loaded. We are going to refresh the only this particular content. I mean, we are going to change the only this particular content. So this is called the single page web application. So whenever if I move from inbox to the drafts, so I am going to change this particular content. For example, I am going to make one request to the server. So server will fetch the some details, like it will return some JSON data. So I am going to replace only this particular data. So I'm not going to reload the entire web page. So if you take in the modern web pages or modern websites, so whenever if I navigate from the one page to the another page, so we are going to process all the content in the backend. Like, I mean, we are going to prepare the whatever the content required for this draft phases, right? We are going to prepare the all the content in the backend. I think if you work with the PHP, I mean, you can be well familiar with that. Like, we are going to prepare the all the HTML content in the backend, and we are going to render that particular. I mean, we are going to send that entire page to the front end. So it which leads to the some performance issue, or like we need to load the all the resource like header, sidebar, and the footer. So it will take some application performance is very low, like if you go in that way. So to overcome that, Angular framework introduced the single page web application where we can change this particular content only, dynamic content. Sir, how can we change this particular content? Sir, what are the concepts we are going to use in Angular means? So we are going to, I mean, change this content by using the concept called routing. For example, here we can see like mail google.com as like we have the URL like this, right? We can see, we can call this as one particular route. So don't worry, guys, about the routing. So we'll discuss routing in depth in the further classes. So once now again, like I'll move to the inbox. So now we can see here we have changed this particular route. So we are going to change only this particular content. So this is called the single page web application. So we can develop these things by using the Angular framework. This is a basic web application. So nowadays, like what are the websites we can, if you consider like Amazon or Paytm or Flipkart. So like most of the, I mean, web applications are single page, I mean, web applications only. The first time it will load this entire header, sidebar, or the footer. So next time whenever move from like this particular navigation to the mobile accessories, so it will load this particular content only. It will not load this thing. So this is all about the single page web applications. Guys, anyone is having any doubt on single page web application?
No, sir. Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah, Karthik.
Sir, I never worked from server side technology. Like we can develop the web app from the server side technologies also.
I didn't get you, Karthik.
No,
Can you repeat once
I
again?
never worked from server side. So my question is,
Okay.
we can develop the websites by using the server side technologies also.
Websites, server side. Yeah, we can develop the I mean, web apps by using the Java or Spring Boot. or using the, you can use the JSP like Java server pages. Yeah, we can do. But like nowadays, like the most of the projects are, I mean, most of the applications were running based on the JavaScript. So JavaScript is the I mean, powerful, and so by using the JavaScript, we can create the backend API also by using the Node.js. So the most of the developers are the most of the applications like they were moving. I mean, they were developing the using JavaScript or TypeScript or Angular or so in the olden days, like so the people were using the Java and Java server pages. I mean, like JSPs, and like they have started using the PHP also. Nowadays, like the PHP also exists, so we can create the web pages by using the PHP also.
Okay, sir.
Is that clear, Karthik? Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Guys, any other questions on single page web application? Okay, yeah, I'll take it as a no. So if you don't have any questions, next we'll go to the what are all the advantages or like why should we go for the Angular framework framework?
So I have a doubt.
Yeah, Praveen. Yeah.
Yeah, can we include multiple micro apps in the same Angular shell app? Like, suppose if we create one Angular, it will be the one, and if we create one of the module as a separate Angular application, can we include here?
Yeah, we can include Praveen. We can do this by creating the custom. I mean, we can call it as custom web elements. We can do that. So, for example, yeah, I mean, you have asked a good question. Uh, so, Amazon is a complex web applications, right? For example, I am going to divide this application into the, for example, one module is for the products, and one module is for the, I mean, order management, and one module is for the authentication or authorization. So if I want to, I mean, develop all these modules by using like, I mean, 5 people or 10 people team, it is very difficult. So in the real time, what they will do was like, so whatever you have asked, right? So they will take, I mean, orders module as a one micro application, and this I mean, payment gateway model is one micro application, and like for example, authentication and authorization they will take as another module where they can use it for the. I mean, they can reuse the same thing for the. I mean, AWS or Amazon Prime. Yeah, we can create the micro applications and we can combine, Praveen.
Yes, thank you. And please show at the end of the course if it is possible to include
Yeah,
other
sure.
in the.
Sure, Praveen. Like, I will see like at the end of the course, like I'll show sample kind of POC how we'll create the micro apps by using the, I mean, Angular web elements or Angular custom elements. So we can do the some POC and we can connect.
Thanks, sir.
So we have just seen the definition of the Angular framework. Like Angular is the most popular open source TypeScript based framework for building the client side web application. So next, like we'll see like why Angular is most popular. So it is an open source. Guys, open source is nothing but like it is free to use. But for example, if you want to contribute something, I mean, if you want to add some more feature to the Angular features we can do. So it is a very it is a free and it is an open source. Because of this, like most of the companies are going with the Angular. So next is it's a lightweight. So when it comes to the, I mean, once if you complete the development and once if you want to deploy the application, so once if you build, the size of the application will be very light, and it supports the cross platform. At this point was already added by the Arshita. Means like this framework will supports with the multiple browsers or like multiple OSs. Like it supports in the Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Opera. Like it supports in all the platforms like Linux or Windows or the Mac. And one more advantage was like it was developed by the Google and developed and maintained by the Google. And one more advantage was written in the TypeScript. So in the JavaScript, like we have the few problems with the type. If you want to define the variable in the JavaScript, I mean, there is no option to define the type, whether the particular variable is a string or like number or like the boolean. So, I mean, which leads to some problems when the multiple developers are working on the same, I mean, same page or the same project. So we have some lot of advantages by using the TypeScript. And the next point was like more users, like more community, like most of the users or most of the projects are started using the Angular. So whenever if you get some doubt or like whenever if you stuck with some particular doubt, you can definitely get the answers easily from the Stack Overflow or like some Angular forums. And the next advantage was dynamic web application. I already explained you about the, I mean, how to create the like, I mean, how the dynamic web application works and like what are all the its advantages. So because of these things, so Angular framework got popular and like most of the teams are started using the Air projects using the Angular. So next, like we'll go for the Angular versions. So Angular was initially it was introduced in the 2010. So like we'll be calling this as a Angular JS or like Angular 1.x or like 1. We can call it as 1.1 or 1.2 or 1.5 kind of thing. So, sir, like I don't know anything about the Angular JS. Sir, can I learn the Angular 10 or Angular 12 or Angular 13 directly? Means yes, we can learn because Angular JS is completely different from the Angular 2 and above versions. So if you know the Angular 6, we can definitely learn the Angular 10, like because like it will be having some minor changes. Like if you know the Angular 6, so we can definitely jump into the Angular 13 also. So it has some minor changes, or like they will be updating the I mean script versions, or like they will be updating the few packages or a few libraries inside the Angular to improve the I mean framework performance. So Angular JS is completely different from the Angular 2 and above versions. Guys, if you want the, so in the interviews they will ask like, have you worked on the Angular JS, or like, I mean, like what are all the differences between the Angular JS and Angular 2 and above versions? So this is the basic common questions like most of the interviews will ask. Guys, if you want the difference between these two, means like I'll do one thing. I have the differences between these two. I'll post the same thing in the group. For example, if you discuss something like, guys, anyone worked on the Angular JS?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So basically,
Yeah,
like
I
we are,
have
we
worked
are
from
going.
languages. Yeah.
Yeah, Rakesh. Like, can you please add few points, like if you know like difference between the Angular JS and Angular 2?
Yeah, sure. So Angular JS is we do the coding in JavaScript, and
Yes, correct.
Angular 2, I think it is based on the TypeScript language, and the type whatever TypeScript the is I mean the JavaScript it produces later on is all ES 2015. I think whatever specifications were brought up, new specifications for the JavaScript version, which is on all modular based, and uh, maybe object oriented language programming we can do in Angular 2 and later versions. But in AngularJS, it was not possible. Uh, and uh,
Yeah, correct, Rakesh.
there
Like
is
whatever the points you have
something
added.
like there is something like called uh, uh, I don't recollect it there's a cycle in AngularJS which I think they have removed it in the Angular 2 and above. The
Yeah,
word
yes,
is
correct. So we have some, I mean, digest cycle.
digest cycle, right? Yes, correct. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, I mean, let me add like a few more points. Like, I mean, Rakesh, like whatever you have added, no, like all the points are valid. So Angular JS was written in the JavaScript, whereas Angular 2 and above, like it was written in the TypeScript. So we have some object-oriented advantages using the TypeScript and the ES6 features. Like, I mean, in ES6 introduced like, so ES6 is nothing but it's the latest JavaScript. We can consider it as a I mean, latest version of the JavaScript. So it has introduced the let constant, and we have the arrow functions, and we have the, I mean, spread operator and the rest operator. We have the object and deconstructing. So like these are all the different features introduced in the ES6. So this was written in the JavaScript, and Angular 2 and above versions was written in the TypeScript. So this is one of the major difference. And when it comes to the AngularJS, for example, it was not fully supported to develop the mobile web application. So we can develop the mobile apps using the AngularJS and Angular 2. So by using the Angular 2, we can develop both web applications, and we can develop the mobile apps also. And when it comes to the AngularJS, like we'll be having the like model view controller. Like in here also we'll be having the MEC. We'll follow the MEC, but in the AngularJS, so we'll be calling as it's we'll be creating the modules, and we'll be creating the controllers. Whereas in the Angular 2, everything is based on the component based. So guys, like we have some few other differences also. I'll do one thing, like I'll share the notes of those differences in the group so that it will be helpful to the everyone. So this is the common question, like they are going to, I mean, ask like what is the difference between the AngularJS and the Angular 2. So I mean, recently like I mean, the Angular 13 was introduced in the like November 2021. Sir, for example, I have few questions on this different versions. Sir, for example, I am working on the Angular 10. So if I want to update this Angular 10 to the Angular 12 or Angular 13, so we need to follow the few steps. Like if you want to upgrade your project, we need to follow the I mean few steps. So I mean, which was available in the Angular official website, or if you want, I'll provide that. Uh, so, I mean, most of, for example, if I am working my project in the Angular 10, so Angular was updated their version to the Angular 13. So, I mean, do I need to update my project also? Means like, so it depends on our requirements. So, if you want to use this Angular 13 features in our application, so we can upgrade it. Otherwise, like no need to upgrade. Or but it is good practice to upgrade, because so whenever Angular is going to release the new version, means it is going to update the its performance. So it will be good to upgrade your project to the Angular 13. So guys, like we'll discuss like what is the difference between the Angular 13, I mean Angular 11, 12, 13 in the further classes. Like what are all the new features they have added in Angular 13. So like this is all about the Angular versions. So now like whatever we are going to take this course for, like it is from Angular 2 and above. You can consider it as Angular 2 and above version. Angular JS is completely different from the this Angular 2 and above onwards. So next, like next point was like just like local development setup. So what are all the softwares I need to require if I want to run the Angular project, or if I want to create the sample Angular application? So we need Node.js. It is a server-side JavaScript where we can create the backend APIs. We need the Node.js in our machine, and this is the Node package manager. We need so once if you install Node.js, we'll get the Node package manager also. And one more thing, like we need the Angular CLI, and one more thing, like we need the any editor, whether it can be Notepad or like Notepad plus plus. This VS Code like Visual Studio Code or Atom or brackets, your favorite editor. So if you have all these softwares, we can create the sample Angular application, and we can start doing it.
Hello.
Uh,
Hello.
yeah, Venkatesh. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, what is this NPM, sir? Node package manager.
Yeah,
We're
Node
using
package
some command.
manager was like, yeah, yeah. So NPM is we can consider this as a one Play Store kind of thing. We can consider this Node package manager is a like in our mobile, like we'll be having the Google Play Store, right? So in the Google Play Store, like we'll be having the lot of applications are like a lot of I mean mobile apps, right? So in the similar way, no, in the Node package manager, like it will be having a lot of third-party libraries. Let me show you. Uh, npm I'll just type just type npm in the Google, so we'll get the website called npmjs.com. So what this node package manager will do was like it will be having a lot of packages like similar to the Play Store. Like we'll be having a lot of applications, right? In the similar way, like it will be having the lot of packages. So whenever if you want to use the package in our application, no, we should install by using the npm. Like we need to use this command like npm install and the package name. So for example, in our Angular application, I want to install the Bootstrap package. For example, let me type for the Bootstrap. So I mean, it is a one framework, or we can consider the Bootstrap as a library. So it will be available in the npm. So if I want to install this, and if I want to use in my Angular application, means like I'm going to use this command npm. So I use the shortcut for the install, and the package name was the Bootstrap. For example, let me go for the one more thing like body parser. So this is the one more framework. So npm will be having the lot of packages, or lot of third party libraries of where we can directly install by using the npm command, and we can use it in our Angular application. Is this clear, Venkatesh?
Clear, sir. Clear, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. So
Sir,
once, yeah,
in order to use npm command, we have to install Node.js, no? Mandatory.
correct. So once if you install the Node.js, automatically it will come. Let me show you in my command line. For example, I'll type node hyphen version. So I mean, if you want to know whether the Node.js was installed in our machine, so we can simply type like node space hyphen version. So we can get the version. In a similar way, we can check like npm hyphen version. So I mean, once the npm, so once if you install the Node.js, npm will also, it will comes along with the Node.js. So we can see like I am having the npm in my machine also. So I mean, first we need to install the Node.js. So next we need to install the Angular CLI. So Angular CLI is nothing but Angular command line interface. So basically, if I see the if I go through the Angular project, so we will be having this lot of files. So if you want to create the manually, so we can create the manually these files, and we can set up the Angular project. While doing so, like there might be chances of missing some files, or like there might be chances of getting some errors. So to overcome that, so Angular framework provides the one more software called like the Angular command line interface, which is used to create the Angular project, or which is used to create the components in our Angular application. So we have the few commands. Sir, how to install this Angular CLI? So we can install by using the npm only. Let me show you. Angular CLI. Yeah, we can see like npm install -g @Angular CLI. So once if I use this particular command in my machine, so it will work. So sir, why I am mentioning the -g here means like I just want to install this Angular CLI, Angular CLI as a globally means like I can create the Angular project application anywhere. Like I can create in C drive or D drive or in my desktop. So once if I install globally means like I can use this Angular CLI from anywhere in my machine. Whereas if I don't use this -g, and if I install from the particular path, for example, let me take this as Angular training and TypeScript, right? So it will works only from this particular path only. Like it won't works from the other workspaces or like other places. So it is better to install the Angular CLI by using the -g flag like globally. So next, like editors, like most of the developers, front end developers, like will be using the Visual Studio Code, like because it have a lot of features where we can add some plugins, and it will supports with the Git, and so it has a lot of advantages. So if you're familiar with other editors like Brackets or Atoms or anything, Sublime Text Editor, you can go with it. I'm just suggesting to use the VS Code. Guys, this is I mean all about the like basic introduction about the Angular and like I mean why do you need the Angular framework and so what are all the importance of the front end developers in like in any company. So we have discussed this. Our next thing was like I mean guys, I have explained all these things like how the folder structure looks like, how the I mean Angular application bootstrapping works. I have completed all these I mean sessions at the I mean like classes from last 1 week. I'll do one thing like I'll share those videos to you like in the group so that you can follow up and you can create the sample Angular apps. From tomorrow onwards, like I can see here, like the most of the people are new about the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Angular. What I'll do was like tomorrow onwards, like I'll take the classes from the data binding concepts. Guys, if you want like I mean if you want the help of the this like setuping the I mean Angular application or machine, or if you have any doubts you can ping me directly in my WhatsApp. Like you can ping me in the group also so others can help you. I at the same time I'll share them my videos, so once if you go through that videos definitely you can do by using yourself.
Sure, sure.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
Abhijit.
Sir, can you please
Guys,
share?
like yeah. I'll share that in the Angular 13 training group. If anyone is not present in that particular group, you can simply just ping me your WhatsApp number in this chat, so I can add you in that Angular group. Guys, do you have any questions regarding the training? So you can ask.
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, guys, from tomorrow onwards, like I'm going to, I mean, if you are familiar with the basics, no, I am going to start the data binding concept. Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Like
sir.
if you don't have any question, if you don't have any questions, means like I will wind up this today's session and can start from tomorrow onwards. Like we can start with the data binding. Thank you all. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Yeah, Venkatesh.
Hello, sir. In order to come data binding class, it will be tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Hello, sir. In order
Hello?
to come the
Yeah,
class,
Venkatesh.
can I know any prerequisites, sir, for the data binding? I know just here HTML and CSS, sir. I just learned the concepts, but I didn't have any hands-on. Any particular
Okay,
prerequisite to
Venkatesh.
that class?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to knew about the data binding, basically you should know, I mean, how to install the Angular application in your project and how to run the Angular application. For that, what I'll do was like,
Okay.
I mean, I have covered all the concepts in my previous sessions or previous classes. I'll do one thing like, I will share those videos to you.
Yeah, sure. I will ping you.
Yeah, sure. So once if you go through those videos, I mean, at least you should have the basic setup in your mission so that it will be easy to understand or easy to follow you.
Thank you, sir. Such a nice class, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. Yeah, thanks. Bye.